Have you ever felt?
It's the Rob's Rant Show with your host, Rob Bell.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Walter Scott, Terrence Crutcher, and Jordan Edwards. Remember those three names because we're going to talk about them when I come back. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant. Walter Scott, Terrence Crutcher, and Jordan Edwards. 3 black men murdered by police in America. What? This is going to be a difficult Rob's Rant for me because at this point I'm really sick and tired of these police officers getting away with killing these black men. And I've been doing Rob's Rants about police officers killing black men for the last year and a half. And it has not changed at all. And in just about every Rob's Rant that I videotape, I always say, this is not going to end, and it's going to continue until we do something about it. And apparently, we're not doing enough about it. Michael Slager and his slick lawyers just took a plea for violating the civil rights of Walter Scott to avoid him going back to trial for killing that black man. And so his taking the plea guarantees that he won't go back to trial for murder, and in all probability this plea will keep him out of jail. So once again, police officer, Charleston, I believe North Charleston, South Carolina Police Department gets away with murdering a black man. Terrence Crutcher, the Betty Shelby case. Betty Shelby is the police officer from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who shot Terrence Crutcher because she felt like he was going into his car to get a weapon, and as a result, she shot and killed him in broad daylight as he was unarmed. She had a 60 Minutes interview about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, to set up the whole trial situation. So when she goes to trial, which is going to be next Monday on May 8th, that portion of the 60 Minutes interview, I'm sure, will play into the decision that jurors have regarding her shooting Mr. Crutcher in broad daylight in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can almost guarantee you she's not going to get convicted either. So, the latest police shooting is of a 15-year-old black boy by a police officer in the suburbs of Dallas who shoots him in the head with a rifle and lies about the fact that the car that he was in was coming towards him, moving backwards, when in fact his body cam caught the car going away from him, and as a result he shoots into the car. The bullet goes through the head of this 15-year-old boy and kills him. The medical examiner ruled it a homicide. And so, if that's the case, how come there are no charges being brought against this police officer for murder? If you or I kill somebody and the medical examiner ruled it a homicide, you best bet your ass they will be coming with a warrant to lock us up. But because this is a police officer, they are not locking him up. He's on desk duty on administrative leave. And in fact, they haven't even released his name, and they're still investigating this case. This is getting ridiculous. It's open season on black men still. And we're not doing a damn thing about it. All we do is jump up and down and scream and holler and cry on camera and protest, and we don't do nothing. They've resorted to killing our children now. Black children. He was 15 years old. He didn't deserve that. He was coming from a party. And the police officer felt like he had to use deadly physical force? Who's training these police officers? What are they thinking? Are they so scared of us that they have to resort to using deadly physical force against us? It's just getting crazy. It's getting crazy. And again, we sit back and we just turn our cheek. We're becoming the turn your cheek race. You know, we are so docile when it comes to the invasion of our lives and our property and our well-being as human beings. You know, we want to always try to get along and always try to do the right thing at the expense of getting killed. I got to tell you, I'm going on camera and I'm saying this. And I don't care who doesn't like it or not. If this police officer and Betty Shelby gets away with murder, I am going to start an online petition and I'm going to ask for the removal of the district attorney, the police chief, and the state attorney general in Texas and in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I hope that when I send this petition throughout the internet, that I get enough signatures to go to those respective governments in those states to at least address and try to look at removing these public officials, because obviously they can't get the job done. When it comes to justice for us, black people, we get no justice. This has been going on for over 400 years. It is 2017 and we are still being devalued, under-marginalized, and treated like nothing. And nobody is standing up to do anything for us. Nobody. At least back in the civil rights movement, we had leaders that were willing to sacrifice and stand up and go to jail and get spit on and beat up to give us an opportunity to get our civil rights and be treated like human beings. You don't have anybody doing that for us right now. Everybody's grandstanding. Everybody wants to be on TV. Everybody wants to have a coalition. Everybody wants to have an organization, but nobody does a damn thing about helping the black man in America. Nobody. And the ones who really want to stand up, they want to vilify those folks. They don't want to talk about them. They're not even in the conversation. And so once again, in May of 2017, we get a black boy, not a black man, a black boy who gets killed by a police officer. He used a rifle to kill this boy, this child, like he was a deer, like he was going hunting for animals out in the woods. And he's a police officer, a professional law enforcement officer who doesn't have enough common sense to diffuse a situation without using deadly physical force. Are you kidding me? Oh, again, who's training these guys? And whoever is are not doing it properly, and even if they're getting trained properly, their mentality is such that a black life doesn't matter. And now that we got 45 and Jeff Sessions running the Department of Justice, who knows where the future of American justice is going? We know more black people going to jail, more black men and boys getting shot, and more people who look like me and brown people being hauled off to jail to these private prisons so that America and his or the cronies of 45 can make money off of the backs of people who they are basically enslaving in these jails. I gotta tell you, y'all better start doing something about this stuff and stop whining and crying and protesting and scratching your butts and worrying about some damn health care bill or 45's tax returns or this insane criminal from North Korea contemplating on whether he wants to launch a missile on us. Oh yeah, that's all well and good, but guess what? They're killing us in our own backyard and we're not doing a damn thing about it. You know, we're so hung up on everybody else's damn issue, we need to get hung up on our own issues. Because if we don't, who will? Well, I'm going to take the next step and try, at least in my powers, to do something about it if we don't get any justice on this one. Because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That could happen to my son. That could happen to your son. And oh well, if it's happening to somebody else, but when it falls on your doorstep, what are you going to do about it? Don't wait for that to happen. Do something about it now. Jump in here and help me. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant.
Are you listening? Damn.